Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be making chicken fried steak. I'm going to do a little fun little twist on it I've never done before. So I'm going to make it a buffalo style. So I got some Franks the other day, so I figured, hey, I've never had buffalo style chicken fried steak. That sounds pretty killer. And I also happened to pick up some Stilton the other day, some Stilton cheese. It's a blue cheese that's really funky. And so I think I'm going to make a blue cheese dip with it. Yeah, and see, that's it. Welcome to episode 3. Alright, here we go. Items that I'll be using today to make this for the blue cheese dip. I'm going to make buttermilk. I've never made it before. I figured I'd try it. It's just milk and vinegar. Apparently, I went online last night and the basic recipe is 1 cup of milk to 1 teaspoon of vinegar. So I want to try that for the first time. We'll see how that goes. Then I'll take that, mix it in with some mayonnaise, as well as with some Stilton. The Stilton's really strong, so I'm going to mix it kind of slowly, just piece by piece, just to check it out. Yeah, I'll start with that when I got some canola oil here in the good old cast iron pan. And personally, me, I love frying with cast iron. It's just awesome. I know a lot of cooks love to. I know a lot of people love to. Cooks, regardless, whoever. Hell, animals might even like to. Ask those fucking coconut rats. For the chicken fried steak, I picked up a New York. You can pick up any, you're going to be smashing it down, so you can basically use any cheap cut or whatever. These just happen to be on sale right now at a local market. So this was fairly cheap. It was $6. So, and since I'm going to be smashing it down, we'll go through all that. I'll probably be getting about 4 steaks out of this one. So that's a pretty damn good deal. So I got a Creole seasoning I'll be mixing in with the flour, as well as some turmeric, kind of the same as paprika. Turmeric just turns things yellow, whereas paprika just turns things red. It's kind of the cheap man saffron, but it's good for all sorts of other things, I guess. I don't know. I recently started using it more and more, and I've been really enjoying it, especially in like a flour batter for frying, because it actually it really helps bring that golden color to it, which you're going to get normally, but this really kind of makes that market of it. And oh yeah, and then one last little thing is that I found a bottle of some hot sauce that I made a while back, and it's ghost pepper, scorpions, Trinidad scorpions, and another one, I don't remember what, Reapers, Carolina Reaper, and it's freaking fucking crazy. So I'm going to add just a couple drops of that, and that'll be into the egg wash, which I'll show you. It's basically just egg and hot sauce. So yeah, all right. So I'm going to clear some of this stuff up, and then we can get started. I got the milk here. I just turned this fryer on, or this stove range top on. I don't know how much milk is in one of these little containers. It says on the fucking side, I'm sure, but I don't know if it's 1 cup. But yeah, so today's little story. Right at 1 cup. Look at that. Perfect. Yeah, so today's little story is actually kind of inspired, funny enough, by this pan right here. So 1 cup of milk to 1 cup or 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. Whoa. So I definitely pour more in there than I want to, so I'm putting some back. Alright. And it said it should instantly curdle it. I don't see any curdling happening, but hey, I've never witnessed curdling before. Alright, so yeah, so this cast iron pan, and just stories that go with it. Stories that go with any good cooking stuff. I'm gonna put this away. All right, so I got the mayonnaise. I'm gonna move this to a different container because I'm gonna use the immersion blender to blend it. So, all right. So there we go. But what am I doing? All right. Alright, so that's our milk and our vinegar. We'll do some mayonnaise, kind of just thicken it up. Do a little bit more. Everyone loves mayonnaise. Yeah, so I've got this property that's out in the desert, pretty much out in nowhere. And the only thing that I've built on it really, I've built fences, but the fences keep getting stolen. But, ooh, I wish you guys could smell the Stilton. It is funky. It is very funky. And it has it's one of those cheeses that has a completely different taste than the smell. The smell is like good funky, but then the taste is like barnyard funky, but like addictive. Like some good herbs can be type thing. Alright, so that's probably way too much. Alright, I'm going to run this through the immersion blender. I'll be right back. Alright, so that was one go through it. I can smell the cheese, but it needs more mayonnaise. It needs to thicken up a little bit more to make it a good dipping. I might actually just, well no, I've gone too far. I was thinking of just separating some off and then just thickening that part, but then I don't know what I would do with the other half. Could use it for a marinade. That would definitely be a very interesting marinade for like fried chicken or something. Alright, I'm going to run this through. I just tasted some. It is really, really good tasting, but you know what? We're pretty much there anyways. Alright, so I got my, so I don't even have any more mayonnaise to thicken it up, so that's good. I don't want to add any more cheese to thicken it up. But hey, we got a big old thing of blue cheese dressing now. We got the dressing made, the oil's heating up nice. Next thing we'll do is set up the egg wash and the flour. And so those will be ready. And then pretty much the last step after that will be pounding out the steak. And once again, not really any measurements because it's not like I'm baking. A little bit more. Alright, yeah, so out on this property, it's out in the desert. Nothing out there. Except I built a little fire pit. And so my buddy Nico and I will go out there and we'll just camp and just hang out and just, I don't know. He sets up an entire DJ booth because he's a DJ. And we basically have a fucking rave out in the middle of the desert. Just sitting fireside, cooking. So, alright. Doing pretty heavy on this stuff because I really like it, and I know it's going to be fried, so it's going to have to endure that to get the flavors all kind of come through. Yeah, so got this fire pit out there, and it's a drive. It's out in nowhere, and like I said, and you can see for miles. Alright, so I got seasoned flour. I'm going to put that off to the side to whisk with it. And then now doing the egg rinse. Going with just egg and hot sauce. That's it. So, using the good old Frank's. Yeah. We'll use the Frank's too later on when we actually buffalo stuff. So right there, we'll throw a little of this stuff in here. Like I said, I named this stuff Kissin' Hell because it was just exactly that. So, whew, that was I know that was too much right there. But, all right, we got a pretty good little. Ooh, you see that? So that shows us that the oil's pretty much there. Alright, so I'm going to do a little trimming on the steak. I'm cutting out the real thicker stuff because once again I'm going to be pounding these down, and that's not really going to add anything to the steak. Alright, so I can see kind of a natural separation right here, probably meat glue. I'm going to cut that in half and cut them in half. Then I'm going to kind of look for, there we go. For those of you who have never made chicken fried steak before, it's actually very fun to make. And a little hot sauce in the bag. Right. You don't want to pound out the steak. That's what's kind of fun about it. And ooh, that's hot. All right, then you need some sort of pounding tool. I can't find my hammer. Well, I'm too lazy. My hammer's in my truck. This was just outside the back door. And because this is not actually coming in contact with the meat, like, you're basically just breaking the fibers down. Alright, you want them thin, but you don't want them too thin. I mean, it depends on what you want. I mean, look at that. It's from one of those. This could go a little bit thinner. No, let's go a little bit thinner. Just make sure you keep it even. That's the main goal. There we go. That is perfect looking. Hold on, let me get a plate to stack these up on. Look at that. That's beautiful. And we just got 4 more to go. 3 more to go. Yeah. I mean, look at this one. This is, whew, a little thick on this side right here. I might do this one as 2. I don't know, man. Oh, that's good. And you know what? I forgot to do it, but sometimes when I'm doing this, while I'm pounding the steak, I'll put salt and pepper in the bag, and then you literally pound it into the steak. It's just a little trick I came up with. I'm sure thousands of other people do it too. All right, that should be it. The most fun I've had with a hatchet indoor in years. Alright. These are coming out great. Like, once again, like, that was $5. And that's that's a shitload of chicken fried steaks. Alright, I'm gonna set up a fry station just because honestly that's like the best idea in the situations like this. Alright, so we got a pretty clean station going here, so we'll do flour, egg, flour, fry, and then we'll need another plate over here. Alright, so I went into my stuff, and I found I did have some more mayonnaise, so I'm going to try thickening up that. And I've turned this down just a little bit. I'm going to kind of side project onto that, just because I want that ready. Now, funny enough, I don't have any small forks, but I have a very small little bunny spoon I will be using. So, and we're just having a good old time. Say we're just sitting back, just cooking, just hanging out. And like I said, this place is out in nowhere. And you can see the closest house, you can see it because it's a desert. And the closest house is, I'd guess, at least 3/4 of a mile away. They can see us having a fire, we can see them living. Oh, here we go. Now, see, now we're getting a little better ratio. Funny enough, it actually just needs a little more cheese now. Alright, so I've got this kind of turned back up. It's doing its thing. When the stuff fries, it's going to fry fast, so I'm not worried about that end of it. It's kind of getting these other little parts. Alright, we'll just mush that in there. Yeah, so we're kind of just sitting there in the sitting by the fires, minding our own, whatnot. We didn't have a big fire. We didn't really need one at the time or whatever. It was just cool, just chilling. And way, 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 way down the road, we can see some headlights. And it's about 2 in the morning, 1:30, 2 in the morning. That's it. That's what I was looking for. That is perfect. There you go. Do a little test like that, show you things are nice and ready. We're going flour. So Nico and I are sitting up there, just minding our own, and we're watching these headlights. And they're probably about 40 minutes away. And so we can see them. I mean, that's how far out we are, and that's how open this place is. And so we're watching these headlights and we're thinking like, yeah, well, poacher or just someone out driving around. I mean, there's people out here. There's people that live out here. It's pretty cool. There's also a lot of like meth heads and stuff like that. That's, oh man, I'm like in awe right now. That's beautiful, beautiful. So we're sitting there just kind of doing our thing, and we're watching these headlights. We're just talking and hanging out. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get the second one ready. Man, this is looking amazing so far. Trying not to block y'all's view, but shit. We're supposed to do flour first. For years I did egg first, but then I found that flour first is much, much better. And so I kind of screwed that one up, but we'll make it work. And look at this. So we're sitting there, we're watching these headlights, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That is just beautiful. Alright, so now we kind of can do a side-by-side, because this one here I accidentally did egg first when I meant to do flour first. So we'll see how this one comes out. So we'll let the oil kind of come back up. See, we got another one, so I'm going to start breaking them into smaller pieces. But look at that. Alright, so these headlights are getting closer. We're watching them. We're just sitting by the fire. We're just cooking, drinking, talking. Just, I don't know, doing what people do when they camp. And the headlights, they're, once again, they're like I said, like 40 minutes away, half an hour away. Like, and that's at like 50, 60 miles an hour. So they're 50 miles away. So we can see that far out in the desert. But there really isn't anything else out there, and so that's what's kind of confusing. So turning down these roads that basically only lead to us. So it's kind of interesting, and we're just, alright, like, keeping an eye on this guy. Let me wash my hands. Alright, so this is the one with the flour first. This is the one with the egg first. I like how this one looks. But, I mean, there's also variables that the oil had never been used on this one. It was brand new. It was the first one in there. But, okay, we're bringing that oil back up to temp. We got a couple more to go. So Nico and I are sitting there. We're just chilling, but we're watching these headlights once again. And they're turning down roads that are coming directly to us. We're the only place that it can be going. So it's kind of interesting, so we're keeping an eye on it. And it keeps just, I mean, once again, but it's still like miles and miles away. So it's like suspicious, but at the same time, like, who knows? I mean, could be kids living out here out in the desert, just out for a 2 in the morning drive. Could be some dude who's just out exercising his right to drive around. Like, I don't fucking know. Yeah, I think the oil needs to heat up a little bit more. Alright, so these are going good. And the truck's getting closer. The truck's, by now it's about 20 miles out. And like I said, like the roads it could be on could only really come to us, but at the same time there's hundreds and hundreds of little farm roads. So it's like the main roads were the ones coming directly to us. But there's so many little farm roads all over, and the locals know them. And it's just, I don't know, they drive their own little path. You'll find tire tracks all over the place. And the truck starts turning like decisively like on the roads that can only come to us. And so now we're kind of watching it with a little more inspection, like, okay, like, take notice. Like, this isn't like there's a reason. For some reason this vehicle, and at the time we didn't know it was a truck. And so it's like, for whatever reason, this vehicle at 2 in the morning is driving directly towards us in the middle of the desert. We are out in nowhere. Like I said, closest facility that we can see is 3/4 of a mile to a mile away at closest. And that's like, yeah, so that's looking down through a desert plain trying to judge distance, so it's ridiculous. Yeah. So this truck now, this vehicle now, there's the property that we're on, there's one main road connecting to it. And that one main road runs down the entire length of this desert. And this vehicle that we've been watching had been like slowly kind of zigzagging as it was driving, like it was stair-stepping its way in our direction. Man, these are going to be so good. Oh, look at that. You know, even if they're underdone, that's not really a problem because it's steak. So then you just get like a rare, or not rare, but medium rare little snack. I got some asparagus I wanted to try doing some little fries with, just fry it, try it out. Haven't done it before. Alright, let me wash my hands. So we're sitting there by the campfire. Oh, I almost did it. I did it, but they weren't submerged, so I think this will be different though. Because the theory with the steak flour stuff, or the meat, is that the flour sticks to the meat, which makes the egg stick to the flour. So we're sitting there, we're watching this vehicle start coming down a road that pretty much can literally only lead to us. By now, once again, time-wise, it's like 2:33 in the morning. So we start thinking, oh, is it a park ranger? Like someone concerned about this fire they see way off in the distance. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. Alright. So the asparagus didn't really come out as good as I wanted it to. It came out pretty decent, but I'll bet with the asparagus, had I done the egg first, it probably would have stuck, the flour would have stuck better. I could have done, I mean, this one came out decent. And look at this plate of food that I've got right here so far. And like I said, that steak was $6. Those asparagus, I mean, those 2 asparagus. However you want to figure that math out, it's all up to you. Woo! Tongues of fury. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I got some butter in here. I don't want to brown the butter, so I've got it on a really low heat. So it's just kind of doing its thing. Can turn it up a little bit more. So this vehicle, now it's coming up literally the only road to the property that we're on. There's no doubt in our minds that this vehicle is going anywhere else. The only other option, which is a possibility, because I have seen it happen, is that people are using that road as a cut through to somewhere else. I just added some of the Franks. Buffalo sauce, for those that don't really know, is literally just butter and hot sauce. Alright, now I'm going to add some of this Kissin' Hell. This is that super, ooh, okay. Oh, okay, there we go. You know, one thing that I did forget is to salt these. I should have salted them immediately out of the fryer. That's like a part of the reason why I even used the rack instead of putting them straight on paper towels. Is on paper towels, yes, you do absorb a lot more of the oil out of them, and that's a good thing. But you also just saturate that oil back in with them sitting on that paper towel. So I feel personally, just because that's what I've seen done in restaurants and stuff like that, on the rack, things can actually drip. Like I actually washed a good amount of grease off of this plate, which was under that rack. So, alright, we're getting pretty close. So yeah, so we're pretty much right there. It looks like I have a lot more that than this, so I'm going to actually add more butter and stuff into this. Alright, so this truck is now like not just like obviously coming to us, it is within 3 miles. It's within like 2-3 miles on the only road in our direction. So like I said, he's either going to pass us by or he's going to come straight to us. And my guess was that he was going to come straight to us, but we didn't know. We didn't know. I mean, this has become a learning curve, learning moment or whatever in my life. Just that crazy things happen. And so we're sitting there once again, still, and this truck turns down. Basically, like I already said, he's on the only road coming to us, but now he turns down like basically the road coming to us. Like he was on public roads before, now he's on basically like almost private roads. Like basically no one comes down these roads unless you're actually going. I should not be cutting on this plate right here. I feel really bad doing this. I'm actually going to stop doing it. Yeah, the plate's an uneven surface and it can easily shatter or basically just chip the knife. So alright, so then this this truck, it's right now it's within half a mile. And it's coming towards us, and it's slowing down. So it's that we have witnessed, its 45-minute journey directly towards us is slowly coming to an end. And so we're watching this and we're just going, okay, like, what's going to happen next? And this truck basically comes and it turns down onto the entrance of the property that we're at. The entrance is basically just 2 posts that tell you that you're at some property. This is just some good buffalo sauce going right here. So I'm just taking my time to melt the butter down. I don't want it brown, I don't want to burn the butter, I want it just melted. So this truck, now we know it's a truck. It's a white truck. I couldn't tell you the make, or model, any of that. But so this white truck, now it's on the property, the same exact property we're at. It's not like on the road near us. It's not like we were like a little bit ago where it was miles away and it was like, whoa, who's this creepo? We're on like a private 3-acre plot of land in the middle of like, I don't know, 100 miles of fucking desert. Alright, I'm gonna start. Oops. Add some of these guys in here. And I've noticed that they're kind of brittle. I don't know where my fucking tongs went. Oh, here they are. Alright, so got these in there. I can turn this heat off now so I don't forget about it. Alright, now we're making true buffalo style chicken fried New York steak. Ooh. See, if I had a nice, like super nice deep fryer, and these things are like extra crispy, then I could just be throwing them in and tossing them around. But oh, these are insane. I'm not going to do all of them because you got to have some original style. So this truck now, it pulls up on the property facing us, and now it is 50 yards away and just sitting there. So 2:30, 3 in the morning, this truck 50 yards away from us, just headlights on, just facing us. And so I tell Nico, I say, hey man, you know that 22? So you go get that 22 and you go hop behind the car over here. But don't do it yet. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to show them that I got a 12 gauge. Because this guy's been sitting here by now like 5 minutes, like just staring at us, just sitting there. We tried, we did a little hand wave thing, like if it was a ranger, like the ranger would have come out. Let me grab that blue cheese. Oh, look what I just found. So yeah, let's throw this on here. Yeah, so I stand up. Alright, it's got a little, yeah, we'll just. So I stand up and I hold the 12 just across me and I step in front of the fire. Same time I do that, Nico jumps behind the car and we just sit there. And now it's like a true weird standoff. We're basically, this dude in this white truck or this person or these people, we don't know, at 3 in the morning, parked with their headlights on, facing us. They're facing us, we're facing them. Everyone's just sitting there. And they just backed away. They backed up and they drove away. And they drove back the exact route they had come. And we sat there and we watched this truck. I mean, they never got out. They never said hello. They never said, what are you doing? Nothing. This truck, from what we witnessed, drove at least 45 minutes to get to us. And get directly to us at 2:33 in the morning. And then after sitting there for a little bit and seeing that we're armed, but after sitting there, I mean, like, they didn't like that's where it's like if it was a ranger or something, but nope. Alright. So here we go. We got a chicken fried steak, buffalo style. I found some celery to go with it. I'm going to clean all this stuff up. And thank you very much for watching and listening.